Hey cookies, welcome to today's episode and topping guide for you on Candy Diver Cookie. That is correct, so appreciate you tuning in. If you got a question or comment throughout today's episode, do let me know because I love to hear from you always. Now, appreciate that support. Great ways to stay connected down below. And let's get going here on Candy Diver Cookie with yours truly, Mythras Cookie here. So here's what we got going on, what we're going to break down for today's episode. We will talk about Candy Diver Cookie. We'll go in the moveset. We'll give you the topping guide of choice and why. Then we'll go take Candy Diver out for a fun run. And last but not least, bring it all back together for us in today's episode. So thank you for tuning in. As I always say, let's talk about Candy Diver Cookie here. So first off, this is a really unique cookie. The key one here is it's kind of ethereal. It doesn't get hit. So it's going to give you 4 cookies, not 5. If you lose the other 4, you're done. And that is that. So that's the first key piece about this Candy Diver Cookie. Now, this cookie is a support cookie. It sits back in the rear of your team and plays that function. Now let's talk about what this lovely deep sea diver does. So while wandering around the depths of the Dusklam Sea, Candy Diver Cookie has become immune to enemy attacks by obtaining the safeguarded ability. Their regular attacks reduce the defense and increase damage received by the nearest enemy. Upon using the skill, Candy Diver Cookie will discover various relics from the deep sea, providing buffs and healing to the cookie's allies. The super success rate will increase depending on Candy Diver Cookie's amplified buff rate. So we'll talk about that here in a second. Every relic provides a different effect. So you got all these different things: defense reduction, attack damage boost, super success rate 10%, plus amplified buff percent, failed super success carryover rate 15%, regular relic HP healing 43%, siren statue amplified buff, pirate sword attack, anchor defense, rare relic black pearl shell healing 10% for every 1 second for 7 seconds, amplified buff plus 15% for 10 seconds, attack 25%. So very important here, and we're going to talk about that as we move into the toppings. So let's go ahead on the toppings. So in my case here, I am running 5 Swift chocolate. Now on top of that, you can certainly run a different set here. Now the other topping that you want to be on is sweet candy. That is going to be the amplified buff one that you can use. So like we talked about, instead of getting lots of casts here, because this thing's on a 15-second cooldown, you can make more successful casts there with the sweet candy getting the amplified buff. So that's the other route that you can do in terms of your second set there. So in my case, I'm running the Swift chocolate. I'm running that to reduce and keep cranking on these skill sets, hopefully to reduce that. Now, in terms of the bonus effects, what are you going to be looking for? Well, again, you want that amplified buff. Again, that cooldown is going to be huge for you in terms of how this cookie is going to work. So those are really the big ones that you want in terms of what's going to happen with Candy Diver Cookie here. Everything else isn't really that important. So when we look at this cookie, we got cooldown, which is great. We also have amplified buff, which is great. We have cooldown, which is great. Amplified buff, and again, nothing really big there. So we definitely want to get better Swift chocolates, but those are the key things here. So let's go ahead and take Candy Diver out with the team so you can see how this cookie is going to work and operate within your cohesive cookie unit. And we will find Candy Diver Cookie. There we go. Unstable, of course. Let's go for it. Here we go with Candy Diver. There you go. So we'll show you how this works now. Boom. There you go. You can see everything that happens. Spirit of the Abyss. Let's go again. So you can see all the buffs going on. There we go. So we got a pretty fast cooldown here with 8 seconds. And you can see all these things here. Defense up. Let's see what we pick up. Boom, there we go. Amplify buff. Amplify buff. Very, very cool. You can see how Candy Diver Cookie works as part of that team there. Very, very cool. A little bit different take in terms of a cookie as well. So again, to bring things home when we talk about today's episode and topping guide, excuse me, in particular the Candy Diver Cookie, we broke down the cookie itself, Candy Diver, and then additionally we did talk about some key pieces there with that ethereal like I talked about. And then last but not least, we did cover off on the topping guide, talking about Swift Chocolate, but also the sweet candy there in terms of that amplify buff and the route that you can go. And we talked about the 2 paths and why or why not. So appreciate you tuning in, Cookies. If you got a question, if you got a comment, do let me know. I hope you enjoy Candy Diver Cookie. We'll see you again soon. With that said, I appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time. As always, Cookies. All right, Mythras Cookie out. You take care.